There are two things rather disturbing about the web series Money Heist that I finished watching recently. 1. Why do the people of Spain cheer bank robbers? 2. How many viewers understood that the message from the anti-hero called Professor and later identified as Sergio was misleading? I would not have been disturbed if this was just a film or television show. I'm agitated because the world has seen this in real life time and again. Anything that is against the entity called government or nation state appears to give the people in the West a kick. This was the mentality that pushed young people to agitations in the United States when that country's administration was itself not very keen on continuing with the Vietnam War. When we read about the Hungarian Revolution, we learn of a strange phenomenon where one fine day people notice from the windows and balconies of their houses a small procession going somewhere. Without asking questions, people join the march. And you have a revolution. When we in India wonder why rabble-rousers against the Citizenship Amendment Act or CAA have got such positive publicity in the press in the West, why a decade ago India against corruption's significance in the country was blown out of proportion, when we see CIA's front Ford Foundation financing these noisy elements in India, when we see a Raymond Magsaysay Award honoring Arvind Kejriwal, etc., it is this childish mentality of the West that is at play. They are champions of anarchy, not of democracy. And here is why they are wrong. I'm coming to the second point. Towards the end of the first heist, when Sergio Marquina, alias Professor, holds the Inspector Raquel Murillo hostage, he asks why she is so upset with what his gang of bandits is doing. You think we are the bad guys? He asks, and then gives 3 examples of infusion of euros into the economy of the European Union. He says the money went to the banks, which means it went to the rich, whereas the extra euros that his gang members are printing at the Royal Mint of Spain will go to the poor. This is a serious misrepresentation of facts. Broadly put, the European Union takes money from the 4 strongest economies of the continent. The United Kingdom, before Brexit of course, Germany, France and Italy. This money helps politicians in the socialist countries of Eastern Europe fund their profligate and populist schemes. In fact, Greece was the worst case. The Greek politicians just blew up all the money it got from the EU in offering freebies and doles, and then the EU had to warn it of a cessation of loans in June 2015. This clearly means that the money that goes from the EU to these socialist populist countries does not fund the rich alone. They very much go to the poor. Now, young adults with impressionable minds who get their worldview from popular narrative-building mediums like films rather than reading serious journals will get a message from web series such as Money Heist that the state is perforce evil. In fact, the series crosses all limits to show the police as a human rights violator in the way the cops torture Rio, alias Annibal Cortes, who is a member of the gang of robbers in an undisclosed location. On the other hand, Money Heist shows the self-styled professor as a virtuoso. He insists time and again that he wants the heist to be successful without bloodshed. In reality, the roles would be just reversed, where the actual police, whether in India or the US or anywhere else in the world, would take recourse to extra-constitutional means only when the law repeatedly fails to pin a repeat offender down. On the contrary, there is no line that the kangaroo courts of the Taliban in Afghanistan or the Maoists in India's Chhattisgarh will not cross. When you are subjected to these unlawful elements, the only verdict you get without trial or with a farcical trial is a predetermined judgment that holds you guilty and sentences you to death. It is important that we save the fans of cinema from believing that the things shown in films and TV shows give authentic political, economic, social, and religious messages. This is not to do some kind of an advocacy for banning any object of creativity. I would rather urge filmmakers with better sense to build a counter-narrative using the medium of films. Thank you.